New York, big city of dreams.
I'm coming straight out.
New York, big city of dreams.
NYC.
What's going on? This is Ellis from Nick of Time Show, here giving you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And listen, man, we won 2 games in a row. The Knicks are back and better than ever. Tom Thibodeau has us playing at a higher level, and we're going to celebrate and we're going to talk about it. But first, let me introduce you to my peoples. You know the deal, man. First and foremost, we have Mr. Reliable, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy with the stats and facts.
Ryan G is in the building.
Damn right, he's in the building. All right. And now we also have newest member of the KOT. The Raw Metaphor, Mr. Raw Hero Remnant. What's going on?
In the building, good to be on the KOT crew in my rookie year.
Yeah. This if you were a rookie in the KOT team, you would be Immanuel Quickley.
The floater game.
All right. So, let me start off the show by saying this. Knicks have won 2 in a row, right? And I want to set the tone for the people watching because we have a road trip coming. And Knicks fans right now, at this time, we all feel good because we won 2 in a row. But let me remind you, this is supposed to be a rebuilding year. So yes, look at wins and losses, but also look at the progress of the team and the progress of the individuals to decide if this team is being successful or not in its long-term goals, all right? Because we feel good right now, but that road trip might have you switch. And we've been hearing all these fire Tom Thibodeau stuff. RJ's a bum. Ooh. It's like, chill. Just chill. Take a breath. We're going in the right direction. And we'll be fine. We'll be fine. The team is moving in the right direction. Okay? All right, cool. Now to get it out that way, let's talk about something that we all need to talk about because, RJ had a rough beginning of the season, but he has recently come on. As you can see, we just finished beating the Magic, right, today in the grind out game, the back-to-back. So you guys, I'm going to start off with Raw. Tell me, what did you like about that Magic game, and what can you tell me about RJ Barrett's performance in that game?
Well, the Knicks, it was a grit and grind type of game, a kind of a game that, in past years, recent years, we would lose. Especially, we talked about Terrence Ross started hitting his shot, and they came back from 14 down. That's a game that we would normally set up to lose, but it's a different team, a different coaching staff, and so they were able to grind this out. This was like, in terms of development, this was a growth. This was a win that helped a team grow. That they can know they can hang on to when they could grind one out ugly and win. And so overall, that was good. RJ is playing smarter in that if his jump shot is not going, he was like 0 for 4 from 3 today, or 0 for 3. He was going to the basket, and he was going to the basket with authority. And so between that and as Thibodeau said, if your shot is not going, there are other ways you can influence winning. And RJ, as we've noticed, he's been influencing winning not only by going to the basket, not only by playing good defense, but by rebounding. So he's double-figure boy. So I'm really liking RJ's development. He's doing what we would expect him to do as the number 2 or number 3 overall pick, and he's getting better. And the exciting thing is he's going to continue to get better. So I like what I'm seeing there.
Let's pause for a second. This episode was brought to you by Manscaped. All right, fellas, Valentine's Day is on the way. You want to make sure down there is clean, fair, and square. Manscaped Trimmer 2.0. It does not nick your knickers. It doesn't grab your hairs. It has an LED light so you can see what's going on down there. It's waterproof and is guaranteed to make your lady happy. All right, so definitely pick up the Trimmer 2.0. And also, my personal recommendation And Ryan backs me up. The ball deodorant.
Exactly. I've been using the ball deodorant since even before this whole sponsorship. I've been using the ball deodorant. It works great. It works well. The ladies, you know, if that moment comes, the ladies go down there and they're satisfied. It smells nice and good. So go get you some.
Go get you some. All right.
Yeah.
Man, go to manscaped.com and get 20% off and free shipping with the code KOT. All right. That is 20% off and free shipping with code KOT if you go to manscaped.com. And you know what? If you trim down there, send all before and after pictures to Ryan's Gmail account at Ryan. Okay,
No.
All right, never mind. KOT, that is the code. Yeah, exactly. He's averaging over 7 rebounds a game as a Knicks shooting guard. We've been getting on him because we've been saying, yo, Julius needs help. Julius needs help. Guys have been getting at him on Twitter, and he stepped up, man. Like, after having a clunker of a game, 11 points versus Charlotte, with 27% field goal percentage, he followed that with a 20-point game, shooting at 46%, 5 rebounds, another 20-point game, shooting at 58%, a 19-point game, shooting at 45%, and a 22-point game. And the last two games was a double-double, 19 points, 11 rebounds, and 22 points and 10 rebounds. So RJ Barrett, it seems like he's taking a step, man. What else can you tell me about RJ in this game, Ryan?
Well, the one thing I'll say about RJ is that I just like how at the moment he's just mixing his game up, you know, like he's just not selling for jumpers. You know, he's trying to find ways to get to the lane, get to the basket. Like I even seen him take a pull-up jumper today, and I was like, yo, where's that been? So I just like the fact that RJ's I think he's figuring it out at the moment. Like he can't just settle for jumpers like he was, during the streak when he was like kind of coaching it from the field. Mm-hmm. And he's starting to learn, like, you know what? For me to get my points, I'm going to have to do different things to, just to keep the defense honest and not just bail out the defense by just selling for just 3-point shots and deep twos all the time.
Nah, exactly. You know what's interesting? It looked like you want to say something, Ro. Did you want to say anything?
No.
Okay, cool. So the interesting thing about RJ Barrett and his shooting stats, because I happened to clean the glass and look at some of these stats. And he hasn't really been shooting well this season. Now, he's been shooting better than last season because right now he's at 40%. But if you're looking at the areas of the floor, he hasn't really shot well from at the rim. Only in the 6%. I mean, dead last at the rim. Only shooting 41% at the rim, 53% at the rim, and 30% at the short mid range. At 3, he's only shooting 23%. But the only glimmer of hope seems to be the long mid-range. He's in the 50th percentile and shooting the long mid-range, shooting at 35% clip. And he said he's been working on that shot. We've all been saying that, some people have been saying that he needs to open that mid-range game up to get to the next level. And if he improves anywhere on the floor, most dramatically, it looks like that first glimmer of hope where he can be at least league average, which he is right now, or higher would be the long mid-range. And we saw examples of that today. When the Knicks and the Magic went on a fast break, RJ Barrett immediately, he would have usually ran into the triple team and tried to get a layup. Nah. He dribbled, stopped at the foul line, and pulled up for a mid-range jumper, drilled it. Which was
one time he pulled it out too. He came in and he pulled it back. Now he did go into a triple team, but he got bailed out. But he used that was just one time, and that's much better than last year. But he is definitely making better decisions on the floor. And so again, I just keep remembering the kid's 20. He's doing really good. He's making very good decisions on the floor. He's playing heavy minute. He's been pretty. You're not going with him. He's been pretty durable.
Right? Yeah. He's been pretty durable.
So he's a strong kid, and so if he continues to do that, I mean, he's a gamer. So if we did ever get to playoff contention, I'm very comfortable going to battle with RJ Barrett. So I think we'll be in good shape with him. He's doing very well.
Yeah, I would love to see him in playoff contention as well. I want to see what he does because he doesn't seem to fear the moment, you know? The other things I think he needs to work on is the handle because he had some notable missteps this week.
Yeah, especially in that Cleveland game.
Yeah, the Cleveland game, he tried to, game was on the line. I will say people were killing him that game, but he shot well that game.
Yeah, he did.
He hit all his free throws. I mean, he's had a few games where he shot, 4 for 4 free throw line. That's improved. But he bounced the ball between his legs and caused a turnover, and he did it the game right after that. And people are saying, he shouldn't do that. Stop dribbling so much. He's been practicing it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let him try it. Every now and again, I want to see it. Let's just see if it works. Like if it doesn't work, pull it back.
Yeah.
Work on it in the gym.
Yeah, he's still in development. So I mean, this is him still developing.
Right.
Yeah, most definitely. And I don't recall if he made a shot or not, but there was a play in the game against Orlando where he actually did a pretty nifty move with the basketball when he was driving to the basket and went behind the back.
Right.
In traffic, and I'm like, for someone to do that, you have to have really good handles to even attempt to do that. So
yeah, and they called an offensive foul in that move, which I think was bull.
Yeah,
I think he's getting some pushback from fans on why his handle, but he's made a few nice moves with his handles. I mean, it's not 100%, but it's coming along, and it's funny too because I'm starting to notice certain things from Tom Thibodeau where they're using RJ. I feel like they're starting to use him as a primary playmaker in short spurts a little bit more, because which game was it? Not the Orlando game. What was the game before Orlando game? My memory is getting crazy right now. It wasn't the Orlando game. The game before the Orlando game. It was the
Celtics, right?
Huh?
Celtics, right?
The Celtics, right? Sorry. The Celtics game, beginning of the third quarter, RJ had the ball in his hands at the top of key, and he was actually the one making the plays. And the Knicks did the Knicks scored like 3 straight times with the ball in RJ's hands starting that quarter. So
who was the point guard when he was playing it? Who was the point guard while he was out there like that?
He was Elfrid Payton. But Elfrid Payton was playing more of an off-ball role. Not for the whole quarter, but just that stint, like a 2 or 3 minute stint. So you're starting to think, you're right, Tom Thibodeau, and these coaches, they like to grow players out slowly. You wondering if that's part of growing RJ out a little slower, having him have even more playmaking duties. You know what I mean?
I think it's something that should happen on the fly, organic. Like today, as I mentioned, it looked like Orlando adjusted to Quickley, and at that time, Quickley seemed a little bit like he was forcing the issue. But that's a situation where I give RJ the ball and let Quickley go off the ball because they're doubling him. So give RJ the ball, and now RJ becomes the de facto playmaker while he's on the floor. Quickley goes off the ball while they're doubling him. Because in that scenario, RJ moves the ball very well. And when you're seeing Elfrid Payton get open shots that he can't hit, well, Quickley would hit those shots. So that's why I'm saying it should be something that's organically happening in the flow. I wouldn't put RJ and say, you're the point guard here.
Right.
I would say if they're doubling Quickley or RQ, if they're doubling you, get the ball to RJ, and now you move without the basketball.
Yeah, and good point, Raw, because today, Quickley was handling into the Magic. He was floater nation, man. That floater was go. Ooh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Dang a beauty. That second quarter, I think the Knicks scored 28 points in that second quarter, largely because Quickley could not be stopped. By the time the third quarter came,
it was ugly city.
No, you know what? No. By the time the third quarter came, the Knicks actually pushed the lead in the third quarter of the Magic game, right?
They made a run. They made a run.
Right.
In the third quarter, opened it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. But the young unit didn't get back into the game until the fourth quarter. After playing well in the second quarter, and I feel like they kind of got in cold. Mm-hmm. And once they got in cold, and those guys started to press those guys, I feel like the combination of the defense adjusting to Quickley, because they adjusted quickly. What was you saying they was doing the Quickley role? Because you mentioned it earlier.
He was trying to get the ball out of his hands. So what he would do, what he does, when he brings the ball up, he's very good at dribbling around the pressure. So he'll back up while he's dribbling and get around the pressure. And sometimes even he uses that to get to the basket and do the floater.
Yeah, a little retreat dribble. Yeah.
He kept trying to back up out of the pressure, and then he was getting stuck. And then it would waste 9 seconds on the shot clock, and we end up taking a bad shot. So instead of that, when he saw the adjustment, he should have gotten rid of the ball very quickly, no pun intended, and let RJ direct the offense, or even get it to Julius at the pinch post and let him direct the offense from that spot, and then move it out the basketball. Like I said, that's something that's part of a rookie growth. And I think that he's gonna make the adjustments. They're gonna look at film. That's one thing I love about these young guys under Thibodeau. They look at the film and they make the adjustments. So I think that they're gonna do that going forward. But that's what happened today. So and when he came back after he was killing them in that second quarter, they came out and they made sure that he got rid of the ball. The Knicks would do that more, but they made sure the ball got out of his hands. He used to let it go, and then when he would, the shot clock is down to 10 seconds, and we're getting a bad shot. So he has to get that ball up once he realized they're doubling him. Just give it up. It's just that he's so good at his handle is tighter.
Yeah.
He's confident he can get around him, but they were ready for him. In that fourth quarter.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, that's a coaching thing too. But you know what Tom is. Tom doesn't like to trust the rookies and those guys. So I don't blame him. We got the win, right? We got the win, so I don't want to complain too much. But when that second unit came in, the 14-point lead that we had in the beginning of the fourth quarter evaporated very quickly. No pun intended. But
but you know what? I was, even though that when I saw Elfrid Payton get off the bench, I said, "No, don't take him out. Don't take him out. Don't take him out."
Exactly.
I was like, let him play through it. Let him play through it. Let him play through it.
I was thinking the same thing.
But in my heart, I knew he was going to do that because, like I said, I have never heard of him giving a rookie point guard that much latitude. But even with that, is a limit. So
I will say this though,
and
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that I think in this game he was justified for doing it just for the simple fact that Payton was not playing bad this game. Payton was actually playing kind of decent. So I was like, okay, since IQ is kind of struggling with the defense at the moment, it's like, okay, take him out the game, let Payton see if he can continue his good form to try to close out the game or whatnot.
Yo, Payton even I jumped out of my chair. You see when Payton went down Broadway and throws in the air, did some behind the back,
yeah,
and then bang, whoop! I was like, woo, boy.
Yeah, he was good. He was playing good today. I think he had an edge on because it was Orlando, but he was playing good. And not only that, I think he felt like he can abuse Cole Anthony. He wasn't going to let a rookie.
And he did, Kathy. That's Kathy's man's.
Oh, is that right?
We should have got Cole Anthony.
Yeah, he was putting the hurt on Cole, so that's why I felt like he felt very. You could see it. He was very confident he can get to the rim against Cole Anthony.
Nah, you're right. I will say this though, Tom is kind of sneaking minutes in with Quickley in the starter unit because you know what he did? I don't know if you noticed, but he subbed all of the second unit out and then left Quickley in.
Yeah.
And he subbed them out eventually, but he let him play for like a 2-minute spurt.
No, he's grooming him, man. There's no question. He's grooming him. He's not grooming him fast enough for Knicks fans, but he's grooming him. He's definitely grooming him.
So I think the change is coming. I think it's mighty coming, yo. It's just a matter of time. And I think Tom even mentioned it in an interview how he hasn't had the full team yet to really mix and match. But I think at some point he will start to. At least that's what it seemed like he was alluding to. Mm-hmm. And He did also mention he wants to see Quickley and Payton together, which I don't want to see. But
I don't know why he just said that. I mean, don't do that.
I mean, he did play both of them together for like a short, like 2-minute stint or whatever in this game, though.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But I'm thinking you're going to see it organically because, like the Cleveland game and then the Boston game, you're going to see Immanuel perform like that, and then, like I said, he's going to look at the film. I don't think he's the type of kid that's going to keep making the same mistakes. He's going to look at the film, realize what he has to do. He's going to get better, and then it's going to become obvious. Like, you know what? You got to play this guy because he's going to be in the fourth quarter winning a game for us, and then they're going to
absolutely.
Okay.
With the way he's scoring at will in these chunks of games, you're just not going to be able to hold him out. Like when you're looking at his points, I mean, he scored 3 points versus Charlotte, which is bad, but I just feel like, we talked about this earlier this week, Raw. Him and RJ was probably practicing. We saw the video practicing in New York. And after that, they started going on a rampage. It was 19 points from after that, 3 assists, then a 23-point game, 4 assists, then a 17-point game after that.
Yep.
And it looked easy.
He makes it look easy.
Yeah.
He makes that floater look easy, man.
Woo. Well, man, listen. It makes me go, man, when I get back in the gym, because, it's quarantine, I haven't played. I'm gonna practice my floater, y'all. I need to. Like, this is dangerous.
There's probably 1,000 point guards in the 5 boroughs now saying, "Oh, I'm gonna add that to my game."
Exactly, yo. Especially for the ones who are short of stature, like I.
Yeah.
5'7" gang. What's going on? 5'7" gang. I need that floater in the tug. For the trees.
That's the IQ thing. And New York does that. When there's I remember back in the day when Bernard King was killing, everybody was BK on the court, man. Everybody was BK.
Exactly. Got it just again. All right.
Word.
Shout out to IQ and the Knicks. All right. This is a notable news this week, right? This is a good time to talk about it since the hype has died down. I don't really talk about when the hype is there.
Right.
The Nets made a move for James Harden. I feel like some people panicked.
They did.
Right. Looking around like, oh my gosh, it's over. And you know the news cycle. The news cycle. Pundits are getting high, James Harden. I get it though. They should be high. These are big stars going to the Nets. But we are the New York Knicks. We're running our race, right? Yeah. So I guess my question to you guys is, with the outlook of this team, do you feel like we should is there more pressure on us to make a move now? Or do you still feel like, we'll just stay the course, keep it moving?
Well, if it was a few years ago, I would be nervous because James Dolan would want to make a move just to keep up with the Nets. But we have our own game plan. We have our own long-term outlook, and we don't care what the Nets do. That's their business. We have a plan. So we're developing our youth. We're developing our team. And I like that better. I mean, to me, I don't like a guy that wears fat suits and has all kind of things just to get out of a team that he signed a contract to play for. And they paired him with, he has played with Kevin Durant before when he was in Oklahoma City. He has paired with Russell Westbrook. He has paired with Chris Paul. And so the common denominator is he's been on all of those teams and they haven't won. So I don't know. I'm not high. They're going to go and they're going to score. They're going to look good. And the NBA has to make money, so they're going to put them on every national TV game. I'll take my chances with the guys I got.
I agree. How about you, Ryan? I know Ryan is a guy when Ryan likes to look for the stars. I know Ryan. I know. Ryan is like, get me the man who can put the ball in the hole on his team.
Oh, is that Ryan?
That's how I know how Ryan thinks. We've been doing shows for a minute, right? All right. So I'm really curious to see what Ryan's take is on this.
All right. So, yes, James Harden's gone to the Brooklyn Nets. Yes, the Nets have Kevin Durant and James Harden. The way they've looked so far, especially that first game against Orlando that they played, and they had no practice time, whatever the case may be, and they looked really good together. the Nets look like they're going to be a contender
Oh yeah.
for to get to the NBA Finals. I don't know if they'll beat the Lakers, but they're going to be a contender. But here's my thing. I just don't want the Knicks to do any hasty moves just to keep up with the Nets. Like, look, it is what it is. The Nets did their thing. They got their franchise in order to where they were able to sign, a big name free agent and eventually trade for another big name and put their team together. I just have a feeling that if the Knicks try to keep up with the Joneses per se and try to, make a hasty trade for a big name superstar, that's going to probably mess up the franchise for years to come. So it's like, at this point, it's like, it is what it is. The Nets are good. Let them be good. Yep. Let the Knicks stay the course, do what they're doing. Right. And eventually that time will come where either one, they might draft a superstar, or two, they'll gather enough assets to where they'll look out for the next, superstar that wants out, and then they can make that trade, and then, things can turn around for the Knicks then. But right now, like, it is what it is. The Nets are good. Knicks just stay the course.
I'm 100% agree with Ryan. 100%. That's exactly right. So we have 2 draft picks in this draft. We have 1 the following year. Then we got another possible 2 the year after that. The chances of us either with Tom Thibodeau even developing one of these young cats into a superstar or picking one and developing him is very high. So we can either get one, or if they're all like supporting players that are good, we can trade them for a superstar. So I like what we're doing. We're in a very good position. But right now, the cake is not even baked yet. So let's just let it cook for a minute before we start. Just let them, like you said, let the Nets do what they do. That's their business. They're over there in Brooklyn. Do what they do. But we got to do what we do. Right now, we developing our players, and we looking to develop a superstar. That's the best way to get one.
Yeah.
I like how you put that, Raw, because, see, this is why Raw is Rookie of the Year, right? Because Raw sets you up with the easy segue. Speaking of developing superstars, right? Giving you assists like you IQ. All right. Speaking of developing the superstars, right? We've had a guy here who looks like a potential all-star in Julius Randle, who's averaging, over 20 points a game, with 10 rebounds, 35% from 3, more willing passer. All-around game is better. We've had problems with him on the defensive end. That's been the biggest problem so far. You saw it today in this Orlando game. He was dead tired, no gas. But when the game was on the line, what did he do? He ran out, blocked a 3-point shot, and still competed on the defensive end play after play after play, despite his bad shot.
He did work. That's
right. So, and it seems like there's still this trade Randle debate happening. Some people still want to trade him by the deadline. My question to you is that even still the right move? And would this be different if we drafted Randle? Because listen, I'm looking at KP, right? Sorry to open old wounds, but Serge, I was on Knicks Fan TV, and he just opened the old wound for me, man. He just did. The word he used was, what was this? Porzingis. I forgot the word it was. But he was pretty much saying it would be a mistake to trade Julius Randle, a mistake to Porzingis proportions or something like that, right? When we traded Kristaps Porzingis in that year, he was averaging 22 points a game.
All right.
Only 6 rebounds. And he was only shooting, He was shooting 39% from 3. But, 43% for the field, which is, He's never really been an efficient shooter, but we saw the defensive potential. Knicks fans at that time, if you would have asked them the next year, they would have maxed him.
Yeah.
No, I would have maxed him that year.
Right.
I would have maxed him. I would have maxed him. I was kind of disappointed they traded him. I would, if he came in my office and his brother was talking all that, trade me, I'd have said no.
Yeah.
No.
So
I would tell him straight up, we can't get equal value for you. I'm sorry, we're not trading.
Exactly.
So being that Julius Randle's numbers are better than that, and is contributing to winning, and is it weird that people want to trade him? But they wanted to max KP.
Well, you got to do this. I think that they're looking at it wrong. You can't look at it versus KP stats like NBA 2K. KP is fragile. Julius Randle is solid. Okay, he's not going to be hurt. That number one. Number two, you can't look at it versus KP. I think we know Knicks are just getting off crack. And so
they were in recovery.
We're just coming in recovery. Some of our children are crack babies. And so they still want to just, every second we're thinking of the next trade we can make. Let's trade the whole team and get, Bradley Beal right now. Let's trade everybody. Get Bradley Beal. No, you have to think more rationally. To me, you ask the question like this. Take Julius Randle's name out of it. You got a guy that doesn't miss games because of injury. He's averaging 23 points a game. He's averaging 11 boards a game. He's a career 2010 guy. He's averaging 6 assists a game, and he's probably going to be an all-star for you at age 26 this year. So now you got a 26-year-old player, an all-star player, a 2010 guy that they don't grow on trees. Those type of guys, they don't grow on trees. So you're not even talking about drafting a guy this year that could be Julius Randle. You have Julius Randle. So now, what are you willing to get? What do you want in exchange for a 26-year-old four-man that's an all-star and a 2010 guy? Tell me what you can get that's equal value for him, and then we could talk. But if there's nothing out there, unless you're getting Anthony Davis, or you're getting Antetokounmpo, or you're getting Luka Doncic, you're getting something like that, okay, I can understand that. But outside of those top-tier players, Julius Randle right now is in his position, and I think I might sound crazy, but at the 4 spot, I don't think there's 5 or 6 players better than him right now, at that spot right now. So he's probably I'd say conservatively, he's probably the 8th best, and I'm being conservative, the 8th best 4 in the league right now. So if that's the case, I'm not trading him unless I can get somebody of equal value, or at least give me a bunch of draft picks and young players that might. Like if you're talking Denver, all right, give me Michael Porter Jr., give me your number 1 pick, and then we'll talk about what else we want. But that's how I'm starting the conversation. See? So other than that, don't talk to me, because I don't want. There's nothing else you got that I want. Draft picks at all is not going to do it. I need some play. I need somebody that's going to come in and give me at least that potential to beat Julius Randle. But I don't see that guy out there.
I agree whole. Yeah. Just to add right quick, because you have to look at it this way. Like I think I kind of understand how Knicks fans are thinking, because I think Knicks fans are stuck on just accumulating draft picks and things of that nature and building the team through the draft, or either getting all these draft picks and trading for a superstar eventually in the future. But you have to think of it this way, and it's like Ross said. The only way I would agree with trading Julius Randle is like, say, for example, the Knicks just fall off a damn cliff and they just start losing 10 in a row or something like that. Then it's like, all right, Julius Randle's our most prized asset. All right, let's see what we can get for him. And then we're going to try to build a team through the draft or get more draft picks to see if we can get a superstar player in the future. But my thing is that with the Knicks, with the way the Knicks are currently playing, the Knicks are 7-8 at the moment. Say when the trade deadline comes, the Knicks are still at that 500 mark. What's really the point of trading Julius Randle at that point? Right. Because it's like the team has a chance to go to the playoffs. And it's like from that point on, it's like, okay, we have a solid piece already in Julius Randle. So why not try to build a team from that, seeing that this team can potentially go to the playoffs and maybe even make some noise? So it's like you can't just think about it as, okay, we have this prize asset, let's just trade him away or whatever the case may be. Like, no, if the Knicks are playing good with this player, you keep him and see what you can do with that player and build around him.
And the way he's playing, I can see him continuing this trajectory for at least 4 more seasons. So now you're talking about he's 30. You got RJ that'll be 24. You have 25-year-old Immanuel Quickley and whoever else you draft this year. You can have a real championship team building around this guy. So I don't trade him unless I'm getting a guy that's going to guarantee me, like you give me Kevin Durant or you give me somebody he's going to guarantee me I'm at least the 8th seed and I'm going to go better when I bit more players around. Other than that, I don't want to talk to you about Julius Randle because he's right now too valuable to us.
Yeah, if it was something like a young prospect who it looks like he's on the cusp plus picks.
Yeah.
Then maybe I would think about it. But it's funny because I feel like if we were I feel like if Julius Randle was on another team, I feel like there'd be rumors about the Knicks being interested in trading for Julius Randle.
Yes. That's exactly right. That's exactly, and people will be saying, well, let's just trade for Julius Randle. Let's go to number one Dallas picks for Julius Randle.
Like, I feel like if Zach LaVine was on the team and Julius Randle was on the Bulls, Julius Randle is causing double teams. Zach LaVine is shooting well, but he doesn't make anybody better. What do you do? I feel like that would be the conversation.
That would be the conversation. That would be the conversation. That's exactly right. That would be the conversation.
But man, yo,
fans hate their own players. They just hate their own players.
Yeah, I think Knicks fans always want the next best thing, or the next thing, and sometimes it's hard to recognize when the thing is in the building and when it's not because we've just been losing for so long.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just like, fans. Some of the fans.
Yeah.
A little bit, stay the course. Don't panic. Take
exactly. Because now they're running out of excuses. Because the first excuse was they can't keep that up. That's the first excuse, right? You can't keep it up. Now, if he's keeping it up, now the excuse is, well, he's going to cost too much money. That's the next excuse.
Even if that was the case, right? You still got him locked up for another season,
right?
Yeah.
So we don't need to think about doing it. If we were really considering trading him, you don't want to talk about that till next year's trade deadline.
Yeah.
You don't need to think about that right now. Because if he continues playing even like, which I think he will, if he continues to play like this, next year's trade deadline, how many playoff teams want Julius Randle, coming down?
Yeah. And at that point, we can capitalize.
Yeah, that's what you can capitalize. But you don't need to think about that this year. You got him locked up for this year and next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we have a team option for.
Yeah.
Worry about it this year. And he's actually, if he continues playing like this, he's actually underpaid.
Exactly.
Yeah, true that. True.
Exactly. So I would keep him. I would try to keep him. When we have to, especially if OB, like we said before many times, if OB starts to flourish, and we have two guys at that position who's producing in that production, causing double teams, making the games easy for everybody else, then you make a decision to fulfill a position of need and keep moving from there. But as of now, OB hasn't really shown a lot yet. Welcome back, OB. He has come back this week.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Immanuel Quickley's been setting up for some nice pick and roll chances. It looks like he'll be good once he starts getting settled in, but he needs a few more minutes under his belt. But if he starts to play well, then
I thought OB and Randle together would be a disaster, only because coming into the season, neither of them were thought about as defenders.
Right.
So
yeah.
Real disaster. But the couple of minutes they played together, it didn't look bad. It looked pretty good. So just think, if you have Julius and Obi both playing with Mitchell Robinson, and because Obi he looks like he's got a shot. He could take a shot.
I think he's going to come in with time.
So if he opens the floor, now you have Quickley, RJ, Julius, Obi, and Mitchell. Oh my God, man! No. Let's try that first.
You see, it's coming to fruition, Jay.
Yeah, let's
Obi at the three. It's coming to fruition, Jay. It's coming to fruition.
Let's run that first before we talk about anything. Let's let that run first, because if those two cats can play together like that, oh my goodness!
Three, I don't know, man.
I mean, let's just try it. If it's a disaster, we can talk about it. But if it works out, man, we'll be really good.
Like, I know Randle is quick for his size. I know that, but man,
Obi is athletic he really moves well on the court.
Yeah, he does. That lateral quickness really moves well.
And if he really, I think with him, remember, I think he's only played like really 2 games. Right? I think he's only played like 2 games, right? So if you let him play 10, 15 games and not get hurt. If that kid can play the way I think he could play, hey, you know what? I think what we're going to have is we're going to have Burke coming off the bench, shooting with Butter and them. Man. I'm saying, you give it IQ all kind of options. So I'm not ready to give up. I'm not ready to make any judgments yet until they've had a chance to show what they can or cannot do, over a course of a season. So
I am not that optimistic to see Julius Randle at the 3.
No. I'm saying Obi.
Nah, Obi at the 3.
Obi at the 3.
Obi at the 3. Julius at the 4 or the 5.
Julius at the 4. I'm still not that optimistic. Obi at the 3.
Because he runs well without the ball, man.
He does, but he has to guard threes. I'm not even talking about offense. I'm talking about defense.
Yeah.
He got to guard threes. He got to guard LeBron.
Yeah. Well, Julius would be guarding LeBron, right? Julius would guard LeBron.
Julius has a better shot for sure.
Yeah, he'd have to guard LeBron.
I would almost put Julius at 3. I feel like
you have Mitchell Robinson guarding Anthony Davis, Julius guarding LeBron, and who is their other guy?
on Lakers.
Yeah,
I know they got Caldwell Pope is in the lineup.
Yeah,
Schroeder. And who's the other?
Markieff Morris. Yeah,
Markieff Morris. Yeah,
Markieff Morris. Yeah.
I don't know. I give Obi a shot against Keith. I give him a shot against.
Man, that lateral quickness is gonna have to look a lot better for me.
Yeah, I'll give him a shot.
Threes.
Let him get burned up.
You're zooming around him like a road runner. I don't know.
I mean,
Markieff in the fire. Let him get burned up. Let's see what happens.
Markieff Morris more of a shooter now, though. Anyway, so especially on that Lakers team. So
yeah, he's more of a spot up shooter. Matter of fact.
Yeah.
So listen, I'm just saying. I'm not saying for sure it would be a success. But I'm saying, let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens, because we're talking about a possibility of having them bump heads because you got both of them at the 4, right? You got to play Mitchell Robinson. He's coming into his own. So you got to do trade Randle, or you're going to trade Obi, or what you going to do? But you got to find out if they can play together. Got to find out. It's like what happened with, this is before your time, but Ralph Sampson and Olajuwon were once on the same team.
Yeah.
And they did go to the finals and lose to Boston. And they were trying to play them together, and it didn't work out, and so you ended up getting rid of Sampson. But then remember now, Tim Duncan and David Robinson played very successfly together.
Yeah.
So it depends,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm thinking about Marbury and Steve Francis. That's what I'm thinking.
That's Steve Francis past his prime, and Marbury all New York.
True.
All me, so,
Touche. He was past his prime.
Yeah. So that wasn't Stevie franchise that came here.
Nah.
You're right. Man, I have to sleep on that, man. I don't know. That sounds like Restless Nights.
But I just want to see it. Let's run it. Let's see what happens. If it's a disaster, stop it. You can always stop it. But if it's not, because the Knicks did try to run Ewing and Cartwright together, and that was a disaster. But neither of those guys were anywhere near as mobile as these two.
Yeah.
Randle is mobile. I'll give you that. Randle is mobile.
Yeah.
Jury's out on Toppin being mobile.
Yeah, we'll see. I like the way he moves, though. I just want to see it. We'll see what happens. Let's just try.
Listen.
We're developing, so.
Tom is a good coach, man. He's done some things well for this team. So maybe he can make it work. I mean, so far, listen, I'm going to read some cool stats for Tom, man. Shout out to Tom Thibodeau. Like he set out to do
the biggest talent we acquired, man. That's our MVP.
Yeah, man, MVP of the league. I know y'all was reading some stats earlier. What was y'all saying? What were the Knicks stats?
Defensively?
Yeah.
First in opponents' points per game.
Whoop. First in the opponents'
first year.
Yeah, first year too.
First year. That's crazy. Yeah, some other notable stats that I noticed this year is which I'm in love with is defensive shooting accuracy. 12th percentile. Top 12 percentile defensive shooting accuracy at the rim.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't remember, like, they were showing it the other day too. Like, the Knicks are at least like top 5 in like at least 5 different defensive categories this season.
Number 1 in defending all 3-pointers. Number 2 in defending the corner 3.
We haven't reached our stride yet defensively. I'm telling you, they're going to get better. They're going to get better. They're going to get better defensively. It's going to be amazing. I think Chicago Bulls, with no joke, that's what we're going to be like. Watch this year.
That's crazy, and it's crazy because you don't really feel like we have all defenders on this team.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and this cat Thibodeau is getting these guys to buy in. I mean, when you see Julius Randle playing defense the way he's playing, that's to me the biggest surprise. I just did not expect that. I just said no.
Exactly.
I thought they definitely would have to trade him because he's not going to play any defense, and Thibodeau's going to demand it. No, the boy has been playing his butt off on defense and getting tough rebounds. How many he had today? How many rebounds he had today? 17?
It's 17, I believe, right?
Oh my God,
Yeah.
17.
Yeah.
And he was shooting like crap today.
Yeah.
He said I couldn't hit the ball. So 21 and 17, Mr. Randle, including some serious tough boards at the end of the game. Yes. No, we're okay. We're okay, man. We're gonna get better defensively.
We're okay.
We're gonna get better.
And we're getting the shot charts we want to. You know, we're shooting most of our shots at the rim
That's right.
and at the corner three. I think we're top 4 corner threes attempted.
It's just about consistency. And that's what as the season goes on, they will become more consistent defensively. And if they are, I thought that if they were top 10 across the board defensively, they'd be a playoff team. And we're talking now, they're number 1 in a lot of categories. They're number 5, you know, so they're gonna be all right.
You're gonna definitely be all right, right?
Yeah,
Now-
most definitely.
Now, I'm gonna push this conversation somewhere else, okay? So far, you see with Tom Thibodeau, Kenny Payne, Johnny Bryant, Leon Rose, World Wide West, shout out to World West, and these guys are doing, right? They're building a culture for this team, and we're setting an example. Now, we're looking at what's happening over with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and it looks like, you know, Kevin Porter Jr., one of their rookies, is having a lot of problems. You
He
know,
gonna get a bro later though.
huh?
He gonna get a bro later though.
What'd you say?
He gonna get a bro later though.
I hear you, right? I hear you.
Should I save the story of what happened for the bro? Do you want me to save the story?
Yeah, I think we should save the story for the bro picks. Yeah. Let's
Okay,
just-
all right. I'm gonna
yeah.
save the setup story because I was gonna have the whole setup story, but I'll save the setup story, and I'll just say he was having problems.
Yeah.
There were some issues.
There were some issues with the
Yeah.
Cavs, and now the Cavs have made him available for trade, or they might even waive him. Now, this guy, he showed some promise. He looks like he can be a player. Drafted number 30 by the Cavs. Would you guys take a chance on him and try to bring him to New York Knicks and see what you can do with him?
Well, first of all, he was drafted 30, but I think everybody agrees he's a top 10 talent. I mean, talent-wise, he was top 10. He was drafted 30 because of his possible issue.
Right.
But talent-wise, he was top 10. And so that's the problem. And, okay, I would feel more comfortable. It depends on the situation. I would feel in a perfect situation if we got him in the offseason and let the guys work with him preparing for next season. To get him in the middle of this season, I mean, I've seen players like this before. Not saying they're all alike, but he's a little bit worse. See, we were talking about Malik Beasley earlier.
Right.
Malik Beasley's a little bit more under control, I think, a little bit more mature than Kevin Porter Jr. And I'm not trying to be funny. I think he needs to talk to somebody and get some counsel.
Okay.
And deal with his issues, whatever his issues are, deal with them as a person. Because if you bring him into the locker room and if he feels like he's not getting enough minutes or if it was too hard on him or anything like that, it could disrupt the whole locker room. You know, so I'm a little nervous about that. Unless they bring him in, make his leash short, and then cut him quickly, which I don't think is worth doing. I think he's so talented that I want to really see what we can get out of him.
Yeah.
And so I'd like to get him some counseling. I like to get his mind right. I like to have him work the whole offseason with Kenny Payne and Johnny Bryant and be around these guys. Let Thibodeau's been, known like from this summer, he reaches out and talks to kids. He gets with them. He was already dealing with RJ, already dealing with Mitchell Robinson. He's ready to deal with these kids. So that would I guess what I'm saying is I take a shot at him, but I want to take a shot at him where it doesn't hurt us that much and where it gives him the best opportunity to succeed. That's what I'm saying. And in the middle of the season, it's not a good time. I don't think it's a good time.
Okay. Well, Ryan, any thoughts?
Well, yeah, like if you watch him play, he definitely is a top talent. Like you can definitely tell like there's potential there for him to be a really good player in the league. My thing is, okay, if the Knicks are to take a chance on Porter Jr., it's like I don't want to give up a lot for him. Like I want to get him on the cheap. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't want the Knicks giving up a first round pick or anything that crazy to get him to come to the team. Better yet, I would rather the Cavs waive him and then the Knicks pick him up off waivers. Like I would rather I would rather a situation like that. But I mean with the staff the Knicks have at the moment, like I would love to see what they can do with a guy like Kevin Porter Jr. Like I really would like to see that. So if it's me, I would just be monitoring the situation and be like, okay, what would the Cavaliers want for him, and are they serious about waiving him, and then go from there. But I mean, hey, like the Knicks are in a position where they have nothing to lose. It's like if there's a player out there that has good potential and you feel like you could probably groom him, it's like why not take the shot, see what happens.
I definitely agree with Ryan. I would just have to have a serious conversation with him and let him know that this year you're not going to play a lot. We're just trying to get you developed, and so he's not expecting minutes. I would if they don't pick him up off waivers, I might give him a second rounder for him if I can get him like that, and then take him because he's on a rookie deal and he got picked 30th, so it's not like he's making a lot of money. So we wouldn't have to give up much to get him, even in a scenario like that. So I would give up a second rounder to make sure I got him if I wanted him. But I would definitely have a conversation with his agent and saying, we're going to use this season to get you right. Yeah. Not to use Fizdale's term. We're going to use this season to get you right. And then next year, we're going to start fresh and we're going to get you ready to start for the next season. And then of course, give him, we really feel you could be an all-star, blah, blah, blah. But we want to really use this year to get right, because I don't want any outbursts. I don't want any problems off the court with him. I don't want him tripping. I want the expectations set so that he's not expecting, to start. Like I thought there might be a problem when they drafted Okoro, because in fact I was wondering what they were going to do with Kevin Porter Jr. Because that they kind of play the same position. So I was wondering what was going to happen, but apparently, he had some issues off the court and that kind of exacerbated everything. Yeah. So it could be a good opportunity. I agree with Ryan. If you're going to bring him in this year, I would do that, but I would not set the expectation that he's going to get minutes this year. I would set the expectation that we're going to try to work with you this year just to build you up.
Yeah, I like that wrinkle in the thinking that not the expectation of minutes this year. Yeah. Just get you right, because and I said this before on a CPE show. We have a guy in here, Mike Woodson, who's done, who worked with players who's been in trouble like that. We saw what he did with J.R. Smith, and he was able to kind of turn that guy around, made him, sixth man of the year, have him focus. And I feel like we have one of those guys plus more in Kenny Payne, and like I feel like we have a lot of strong, kind of like say like father figure personalities for.
I'll be straight in that. We got some strong black males.
Yeah,
he needs that. So we got black males that are used to dealing with players like that are respected, that are wise. And that if he's going to make it anywhere, we really do have one of the best spots for him to be developed and make it.
Right. Because when you have players like that who are problems, he has to land somewhere where there's a culture set.
Yes.
And it seems like that's what's happening with the Knicks from the outside looking in. Right. I'm not sure how strong it is. It looks strong from here. But if, the Knicks are confident that the culture is strong enough to handle it, I would definitely, investigate and take a look, because the guy is a talent. And like you guys said, I wouldn't give up anything of value for him. Maybe a second rounder or something, if anything. Right. But talent is something that you can't have enough of. We can get him right. We have Johnny Bryant. We have these guys that get him right.
Look, you win in the NBA with talent, man.
Yeah.
You win with talent. I mean, you could be, disciplined as you want, but if you're going to win, you got to have some talent. So, but because also I don't know the situation, so I'm just speculating here. But from what I read, walked into the locker room. They took his locker away and gave it to one of the guys they just traded for.
Right.
And I watched him. I think it was the Knicks game. He was really supporting his teammates. He was out there, rooting and high-fiving people. I think it was a lack of communication. He's the type, if he's that fragile of mind, you need to communicate with him and let him know what's going on. Don't let him walk into the locker room and see his locker moved.
Right.
You don't want to do that. So I think and I'm not blaming Cleveland. I'm just thinking maybe that just tipped it over with everything else that was going on. So like you said, with Woodson, Bryant, Payne, Thibodeau, I think they got the right type of crew. If he's going to make it, this is the type of crew that's going to help him. I just want to set the expectation. Listen, kid, we really believe in your talent, but we want to get you right this year first. And then let's either toward the end of this year or maybe going into next season, get you an off season under your belt. And then we're expecting big things from you. And he's got the talent. I mean,
he's got the talent, man.
He's a top 10 talent, man. He's a top 10 talent.
He's dirty.
He's a lot of talent.
He's got the talent, man. He can shot create a little bit. Yep. He's athletic. He be banging on people. It's something there. It's definitely something
and
there.
I think he'll buy in, like you said, because JR had the same reputation.
Definitely.
JR had the same reputation, and Woodson made him a $6 man a year. He came in and bought into the program.
Man.
So I think you give Woodson a shot at him, and you let these guys, love him.
You live with Woodson now, man. That's your guy. You shadow Woodson.
For real.
All right, now it is time for the favorite part of the show. The ooh picks. The ooh picks, for people who don't know, are the best plays of the week of Knicks basketball. Knicks basketball only. And we are going to talk about them. So, who wants to go first, man?
I'll go first.
Oh, he's just, I'm Ross,
All
don't
right,
take
so
mine. Come for you.
My first ooh is going to go to Elfrid Payton.
Ah, I knew you was going to take it.
Against the Orlando Magic.
Boo!
So there was a play where Elfrid Payton was at the wing. First defender, he goes behind the back. Second defender, he crosses him over. Yikes. He gets in the lane, rises up, bang!
Boom shakalaka!
Oh. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
I know everybody had that one.
Pretty much. And then my second ooh pick is Knicks versus Celtics. The rookie duo, Quickley and Toppin.
Yeah.
So
whatever. Go ahead.
So Quickley had the ball near the half court line.
Mm-hmm.
Ran towards the wing. Toppin went to set a pick right quick.
Yeah.
Set the pick, rolled to the basket.
Yep.
Quickly spotted Toppin rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Pocket pass between two of the Celtics defenders to Toppin. Toppin rolls up in the lane. Tomahawk. Bang.
Ah.
That was bad.
He was like, I'll go first. Like, he like that family member on Thanksgiving, cutting the line and food. I'll go first.
Nobody
big piece of chicken.
Nobody else was eager. I gave at least a 5-second window for somebody to go first. I was like, nobody took that 5-second window, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna go.
I let him go first.
All right, go ahead, Roy, because he took both mine.
All right, so ooh, it's Friday against Cleveland. Julius Randle gets the ball at the foul line, takes his man and tomahawk dunks on two Cleveland Cavaliers. That's ooh.
Boom shakalaka!
That was ooh.
That's a ooh. A tomahawk dunk on two people? Yeah.
Y'all
remember that?
Yeah.
He took and smashed it on both of them. He got bodies. He got bodies. So I give that. The second, I got one more.
Okay.
Wait, did you take the Elfrid Payton dunk?
Yeah, of course he did.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's it. That was my argument.
Well, I'm gonna just hit the button anyway because It just deserved it. It just did.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? I impromptu. It's symbolic. All right. My ooh pick, who I just picked out the sky. Is going to go to my guy, money making Mitchell Robinson.
Absolutely, you gotta give Mitchell.
Yeah, man, that Celtics game was a warrior. He was rebounding on one leg, whatever, and playing defense still. But my ooh that I want to point out is against Marcus Smart, who had a dumb moment that day. Like, and I like it against Marcus Smart because he was annoying. He was getting the IQ all day. I feel like he was chirping, So it was gratifying for me to see Marcus Smart on the bottom baseline of the court try to do a spin move and then try to like kind of fade with the left hand. But no, Mitchell Robinson's long arm was there, smacked the ball out of his hands, and Marcus Smart crashes to the court in embarrassment.
That's right.
And the Knicks won.
That's right.
Yeah, that's my one. That's it. Since Ryan wants to take all the good stuff, that's fine.
Don't worry. For the bro picks, I'm going last. All right. For the bro picks, I'm going last. So y'all have the opportunity to take my bro picks. All right.
You play clean up.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Ryan.
All right. Now it's time for the other pick part of the show. Bruh picks are worst plays of the week. They don't even have to be basketball related. They can just be life. It can be anything. Yeah.
Okay.
Cheat
I
code.
didn't know that. I'll remember that for next time.
Cheat code, right? So, whatever happened you saw in a life that you didn't like, talk about it, call it stupid.
Okay.
And you can point it out. All right?
All right. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Oh, I got two bro picks.
Let's go.
I definitely. One of them is politics. Okay, so last 4 years, the country has been divided. I think everybody agrees with that. The country has been divided, right?
Facts.
So one of the Republican senators, two of them actually stand up in the Senate and say, we shouldn't try to impeach President Trump because it might divide the country.
Bruh.
I said, what? It might divide the country.
It might.
Wow.
It might.
That's like saying, you smoke 10 packs of cigarettes a day and you're shriveling up, you might have lung cancer.
This country is long division, dog. We've been divided already for the whole 4 years.
So we shouldn't might divide the country. I was like, what?
Wow.
I mean, all excuses. So that was one. My other one is basketball related.
Okay.
So James Harden comes out and is one of his final games as a Houston Rocket, looking like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Oh yeah, this is
all of a sudden he shows up against Orlando Magic and he's 20 pounds lighter. and then John Wall was asked about it. He said, I think he probably didn't want to be here.
Bruh.
Okay, talk about forcing your way out.
Did he have on a fat suit for real?
He must have, because he was so slim against Orlando.
Yeah,
or
it's
is Black
crazy.
just slimming?
I don't know. Man. He looked pretty. He had to have a fat suit on. He looked pretty hefty.
Yeah. I was like, yo, how he lost that much weight that quick? I'm like, yo.
And then the next game, calls up Ice Cube and gets a triple double.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So.
All right, Ryan.
Sorry, I got one more.
Oh yeah, okay.
Austin Rivers.
Bruh.
Ah, Rivers turned into a pawn. I'm telling you guys, man.
Rivers came out against Utah, gets 23 points. We have not heard from him since. I've been saying Butter. Everybody said, who's Butter? It's Rivers. Rivers is Butter. Rivers came out the gate Butter because he was smooth. He was slashing that jump shot. Ain't heard from him since. So, bruh.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Ain't heard from him since. Did he score today?
Did he? I don't think so.
He
got 2 points today? He got 2 points today.
Yeah, I don't think he scored more than 6 points in the last few games.
He had
he's
13
been cold.
against Charlotte, and then it was 8-2-0-2.
Yeah, 8202.
Yikes.
I mean, I'm glad that we didn't spend a lot of money on him.
True.
Exactly. Well, I think he's a playoff piece, so I'm not, but still, come on.
Yeah, man. You got to get it together. It's crazy
Give us
because shout out to my guy Rob. He wrote a piece on Austin Rivers. I was like, yo, what should we write on? I was like, yo, there hasn't been nothing on Austin Rivers, and that's like during the height of the whole thing. He finished writing the piece, and I'm telling him, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna wait till he has a bounce back game and I'll post it.
Bruh.
Yeah, because homie has not been around.
Yeah, that piece is still on ice on the Nick and Tom show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus, dead in the water.
West Coast from
Sorry,
Word.
Rob. Wouldn't let us be great. Go ahead, Ryan.
All right, so I got a number of bros, so you're gonna have to bear with me for a second.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Get your beers.
Yes. Yeah, get your beers, your liquors, whatever it is that you drink.
Yeah.
First bro pick. This is like
Oh,
a
gosh,
double
we need to
bro
sing
though.
the screen. Hold on.
This is like a double bro right now.
Right,
Knicks
double one.
versus the Hornets. Yeah, double bro. Both teams. Knicks versus Hornets. So there was a play where Elfrid Payton had the ball. He saw Barrett cut into the rim, threw it up for the alley hoop. The ball bounces off the rim. So that's the first bro right there. Because Payton didn't complete the pass for the alley oop.
Bruh.
Oh, that was the one
Yeah,
that I
Bounce off the rim.
forgot.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes.
That was the one.
So now Terry Rozier gets the ball off of the rebound. My guy goes down, takes the three, air ball.
Airball.
Bruh.
Double bro right there.
Double, bro. I remember that exactly.
My next bro pick. This guy made double appearance today. Andre Drummond.
Oh, boy.
First one, Cavaliers versus the Grizzlies. There was a play where my guy had the ball near the top of the key against Valanciunas.
Mhm.
He was scouting the floor and everything, like a point guard trying to see what's going on around him. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna take Valanciunas 1-on-1. So my guy did some fancy dribble moves. He carried too. He did like some dribble move like this. He carried, and then he proceeded to try to lay it up towards the basket. The ball misses the basket completely, and it was a turnover.
Bruh.
Bruh.
So that's what we call an air ball.
Yeah. UFO from the layup line.
Exactly. And then again, Andre Drummond against the Knicks
Again?
at the free throw line. I think he made his first free throw, and then he took his second free throw. No rim, all backboard to
That's
the
right.
side.
That's right. That's right.
Bruh.
He gave us problems that game, yo. He was
Yeah, he
a
did give
point
us
guard that
problems.
game. Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Actually, I got a
He was
brother.
playing Magic Johnson that game.
Yes. My next bruh, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope from the Lakers.
Oh.
This was the game against the Pelicans earlier in the week. So there was a play where Schroeder was bringing the ball up the court, and then he passed it to Caldwell-Pope. The Pelicans trap him at the wing, and Caldwell-Pope was trying to escape.
Mhm.
So my guy couldn't find no way out, but he saw Schroeder standing there, by himself because it was Schroeder's man that came to trap him. So he tried to do a behind the back bounce pass to get out of the double team, and it ends up being a turnover.
Oh my
Bruh.
gosh.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Yes. And my next bro pick, Knicks versus Magic today. There was a sequence where the Knicks could not buy a basket because Randle and Payton was under the basket. Rebound after rebound, putting it back up. Brick. And then finally Mitch gets the rebound now,
Yes.
goes up, misses the dunk.
Bruh.
Basket case.
And the Knicks end up getting no point. And Knicks end up getting no points in that possession.
It was
Knicks had like 5
shots.
Yeah, like Knicks had like 9 shots.
Oh my
no
gosh.
basket.
Bruh.
And then my last bruh, Kevin Porter Jr., because my guy was upset because they gave his locker away to Torian Prince. I mean, I'd be upset too because I'd be like, who the hell is Torian Prince? Why are you giving him my locker?
Yeah.
And my guy decided to throw a temper tantrum and throw food. He had a J.R. Smith moment.
Yeah.
And threw food.
You know, soup for you. Was it soup? Because J.R. Smith threw soup.
I thought it was a sandwich.
Yeah.
Was it a sandwich?
I thought it was a sandwich he threw.
Oh, okay.
I thought he hit somebody with a sandwich.
Yeah.
He hit like a trainer or assistant or somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you can be mad about it, but you ain't have to throw no temper tantrum throwing food. Like, come on, my guy, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that coming.
And that's all the bros.
All right. Ryan, that's why Ryan is bro man from the 5th floor.
Yeah.
That's why. Because he always comes through with mad bros.
Word.
All right. Guys, that's our show. Thanks for watching.
Fun.
Yeah,
Always
man. Good to have
fun.
you, Raw.
Always fun, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always end up laughing when I'm with y'all. That's good.
Yeah, man. Always have fun, always with the insight, man. Yeah, you know where to find us, man. Listen, first of all, follow Raw, of course. Go to Raw Hebrew Remnants on his YouTube channel. He's always going to drop some knowledge over there. So definitely follow him. I'm going to let you plug it again later, of course. Follow us, too, on The Nick of Time Show. On YouTube.com/Nick of Time Show. Yes, follow us there. Also follow us on all social media. That is The KFT Show on Twitter, The Nick of Time Show on Instagram, and also on Facebook as well. All right? Also follow us on the blog. That is thenickoftimeshow.com. Shout out to the writer. Shout out to Ryan for starting and stumbling the game up when you was the only writer on the squad. It was just you.
Word. And now it's growing into a whole thing right now.
Now it's going to a whole thing. Now it's a team. Now we got a team. Now.
Exactly.
We almost had 5K.
Yes, sir.
5K views in a month, almost. Yo, advertisers hit us up.
Yeah.
Pay these Jones. All right. All right. So definitely check out the blogs and nice writings of the writers of the Nick of Time Show. All right. And also check out the merch too. I'm actually rocking some. So
All right. Go ahead.
All right.
The KLT merch. You got the Knox merch. You got Whose Mans Is This merch?
Yes.
Shout out to those who just copped the Whose Mans Is This merch. Shout out to that. And yeah, that's it. Nothing else. And J. Ellis draws things on Instagram because J. Ellis draws things because I draw things. That's what I do. All right, cool. So Raw Hebrew Remnant, what you got to say?
Well, catch me on Raw Hebrew Remnant, pretty easy on YouTube, and then there's Raw Hebrew Remnant on Twitter, which is spelled RWHBRW or MANT, Raw Hebrew Remnant on Twitter.
And Ryan, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Sir G is chillin'.
Sir G is chillin'.
That's SIR. G is CHILLIN. You can find me on Twitter at Sir_G is best.
All right. That is it.
Yes, sir.
Great show, guys. We out of here.
Right.
Peace.
New York, big city of dreams.
I'm coming straight out.
New York, big city of dreams.